If you ask any hip-hop fan, they can tell you where they were the night Tupac Shakur died. His death shocked the world, but his life had already made him unforgettable. To understand why his story still matters, we need to go back and see how a boy from Harlem grew into one of the most influential artists of his time. Tupac Amaru Shakur was born in Harlem in 1971, into a world full of both struggle and spirit. His parents, Billy Garland and Afeni Shakur, were members of the Black Panther Party, always standing up for justice and equality. From the very start, Tupac saw that life demanded courage and action. Harlem itself was alive with music, art, and community energy. Jazz clubs echoed through the streets, poetry readings brought people together, and neighbors leaned on each other for support. But behind the music and laughter, life was hard. Many families lived in crowded apartments, money was tight, and crime and gangs were a constant threat. Danger and creativity existed side by side, shaping the way children like Tupac understood the world. He saw his parents speaking at community meetings and organizing events, and he understood that courage came not only from action, but from voice. Tupac started experimenting with his own words, speaking, writing, and performing small poems and rhymes at school and in his neighborhood. The seeds of his artistry were planted in these early years, long before anyone had heard his name. In 1984, when Tupac Shakur was just 13 years old, he moved with his family from Harlem to Baltimore. The change was massive for a boy who had spent his early years surrounded by the streets and energy of New York City. Baltimore offered a different world, full of new challenges, but also opportunities. Tupac attended the Baltimore School for the Arts, where he discovered a love for acting, poetry, and music. He quickly excelled, blending theater, dance, and spoken word in his performances. It was there he met classmates like Jada Pinkett, who would become a lifelong friend. These years shaped him, teaching discipline, creativity, and the power of storytelling. Tupac was no longer just observing life. He was preparing to make his own mark on the world. After finishing high school, Tupac moved to California to pursue a career in entertainment. At first, breaking into music was difficult, but his talent soon drew attention. He began as a backup dancer for the hip-hop group Digital Underground, and his energy, charisma, and stage presence quickly earned him recognition. He soon became a rapper with the group, and in 1991, he featured on Digital Underground's single Same Song, impressing audiences with his confidence and lyrical skill. Around the same time, he launched his solo career with the album Tupacalypse Now, a raw and powerful record that addressed poverty, police brutality, and racial injustice. From the very start, Tupac's work mixed personal experience, social commentary, and storytelling, giving voice to people who often felt unheard. As Tupac's fame grew, his life became more complicated. He faced multiple legal troubles and public disputes that made headlines. In November 1993, Tupac was charged in New York with sexual assault after a woman alleged that he and others forced her into non-consensual acts in a hotel room. He also faced gun charges due to weapons found in the room. In December 1994, Tupac was convicted of 2 counts of first-degree sexual abuse, though acquitted of sodomy charges, and was unable to post the $3 million bail. While he awaited sentencing, he faced another shocking event. On November 30th, 1994, outside a Manhattan recording studio, Tupac was ambushed by 3 men who shot him 5 times and stole nearly $40,000 worth of jewelry. He and a friend were injured, and Tupac barely managed to escape the attack. He believed that people connected to his sexual assault case had set him up, and the shooting intensified the sense of danger surrounding his life. Despite these setbacks, Tupac's determination never wavered. While in prison, he wrote some of his most meaningful work, including lyrics for the album Me Against the World, which topped the charts even while he was behind bars, confirming his influence and power as a voice in hip-hop. During this time, he met Suge Knight, the CEO of Death Row Records, who arranged for Tupac's release in exchange for signing with the label. This partnership changed the trajectory of his career, and under death row, he released All Eyes on Me, one of the best-selling rap albums of all time, showcasing his versatility as both a storyteller and performer. However, the alliance also pulled him into the infamous East Coast-West Coast rivalry. Conflicts with rival artists, media sensationalism, and the competitive pressure of record labels put him at the center of a dangerous cultural war. His connection to Suge Knight offered protection and influence, but also made him a target. Even with all the risks, Tupac continued to record music, act in films, and speak openly about social issues. His lyrics spoke directly to the struggles of inner-city life and the frustrations of marginalized communities, making him both a hero and a controversial figure. Until the night of September 7, 1996, the night every hip-hop fan would never forget, Tupac attended the Mike Tyson vs. Bruce Seldon boxing match at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. After the fight, Tupac and Suge Knight were in the arena's lobby when they encountered Orlando "Baby Lane" Anderson, a member of the Southside Compton Crips. Earlier that year, Anderson had allegedly attempted to steal a Death Row Records chain from one of Knight's associates, and the tension between the two sides had been growing ever since. Tupac approached Anderson and asked, "You from the South?" before punching him in the face. A brief but intense scuffle erupted as Suge Knight and members of Tupac's entourage joined in, kicking and striking Anderson. Hotel security quickly intervened and broke up the fight, and no arrests were made, but the confrontation heightened the danger surrounding Tupac that night, and would later be seen as a possible trigger for what followed. Roughly 2 hours later, Tupac and Suge Knight were driving through the Las Vegas Strip in a black BMW. As they stopped at a red light, a white Cadillac pulled up alongside them. Suddenly, gunfire rang out from the Cadillac. Tupac was struck multiple times in the chest, arm, and thigh, while Suge Knight suffered injuries from glass and shrapnel. The attackers immediately fled the scene, leaving Tupac critically wounded. Emergency medical personnel arrived quickly and rushed him to the University Medical Center of Southern Nevada. Despite surgery and intensive care, his injuries were too severe. Tupac Shakur fought for his life for 6 days, but ultimately died on September 13, 1996, at the age of 25. For years, the case remained unsolved, with numerous theories and speculations circulating about the identity of the shooter and the motive behind the killing. In 2023, after decades of investigation, authorities arrested Dwayne "Keffe D. Davis, a former gang leader and the uncle of Orlando Anderson. Davis was charged with first-degree murder in connection with Tupac's death. Davis had long been considered a suspect in the case. In his 2019 memoir, Compton Street Legend, he admitted to providing the gun used in the shooting and claimed to have been present in the car from which the shots were fired. His arrest marked a significant development in the case, bringing hope to those seeking justice for Tupac. As of now, Dwayne "Keffe D. Davis is awaiting trial. The legal proceedings have been delayed multiple times, with the most recent postponement setting the trial date for February 9, 2026. Davis has pleaded not guilty to the charges and maintains his innocence. His defense team has filed motions to dismiss the charges, citing alleged immunity agreements and constitutional violations due to the lengthy delay in prosecution. The trial is expected to be a pivotal moment in the pursuit of justice for Tupac Shakur. It will likely shed light on the events surrounding the murder and may finally provide answers to the many questions that have lingered for decades.